Hi, my name is Sammy 36 years old. I'm from Trenton, Georgia. I have hemochromatosis, which is a genetic blood disease that basically produces too much blood and stores iron into my system. And with that, over time, will eventually attack the main organs. And that's your heart, liver, kidneys, things like that.
When I'm not extremely, feeling down due to health, this is where I spend a lot of my time, tinkering around. Not a mechanic by any means, but I know enough to get by and, fix what I break. During our last hard freeze, I decided to start my buggy up when everything was frozen and broke my impeller off, which means my water's not flowing through the motor. So I get to spend time out here. And it's kind of tranquil. I can come out here and work at my own pace. If I get tired, I kick back and take a break. I'm not under any scrutiny of time frame, and it's just relaxing to me, to be able to do this.
The blood disease that it is, my body lives on an altitude of Machu Picchu, and no matter if I'm at sea level or 10,000 feet up, that's what it's doing. So eventually, what's ended up happening is it's going to eventually attack the organs. There is no cure for the disease. The only temporary cure that they have is drawing blood, 500 cc's of blood every 2 weeks. And with that, it definitely put a strain on my body. I did air conditioning for 21 years prior to diagnosis, and I've been diagnosed for roughly about 2 years now. And with that, if I get too hot, it basically stops the blood flow to my brain and causes me to pass out because it's like syrup for blood.
How were you diagnosed? What made you decide to go and get checked out?
So I was at work one day, and it was one of my first episodes where I got real dizzy and couldn't find a seat fast enough and fell down in a yard somewhere at a customer's house. And I said, something don't seem right. My hands are swollen, my arms are swollen, my feet are swollen. So I went and saw my primary care doctor, and he ran some lab work and told me to go see a hematologist, which is a blood doctor. And with that blood doctor, they told me they had to run their own tests. They ran their own labs. And after about 2 or 3 months of bouncing back and forth between doctors, they finally came up with the diagnosis of hereditary hemochromatosis, which is hereditary is we're finding that your family members, usually dominant on your father's side, have the same diseases. Unfortunately, with my family, it went undiagnosed as far back as I can do any research on. A few years prior to that, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I battled the cancer and went through it, and I went almost 10 years in remission and thought I was cleared from being sick again. And this is a form of another blood cancer, and with this one, they don't have a cure for it yet. So it definitely hurts. So to have it managed or be manageable, every other week, so every 2 weeks, I go and have labs done where they draw 500 cc's of blood out. The blood that they're drawing out, it's what they call just throwaway blood. Yes, it can be used for life-saving measures. It won't contaminate anybody else's blood. The blood that I have in me is only contaminated by me. With being an outdoor work, 15 hours a day in the blistering sun, I had to go into early retirement from my industry. Some days are great, some days are bad, and some days it's okay, it's manageable. Getting out of bed is usually the biggest fight of every morning, because when sleeping, everything pulls. So a lot of my blood will pull to my feet, my arms, and my hands, and getting up out of bed is really the hardest part of my day. I've worked hard my whole life to, have something taken away. They say God only gives you so much that you can handle, and I hope he's done dishing it out to me, but I'm ready to give on some more. He can keep bringing it. I'm gonna keep fighting it. It is a very oversighted blood disease that not a lot of people know about. It is a hereditary disease that you would get from your parents or grandparents and so on. For the diagnosis side of things, it is not very common in the younger age people. It is more common in the 50 to 60-year-old range, but it is still detectable and diagnosable at a younger age. All that I recommend for everybody, you know, if you're having issues of dealing with heat and things like that, it doesn't hurt to go get it checked. You know, have some blood drawn and have them run their lab reports on it. Because if you can catch it early on, it's more manageable. I've had it probably most of my life and didn't know it, so it's already done a lot of irreversible damage. With having it attack your major organs, it does make it rough. And the kidneys being one of your major organs, because there's so much blood pooling everywhere, that it does eventually come out of its orifices that it has to. So it does make it painful for urination situations, and be able to manage it. Yes, it is manageable. The quality of life does make it a little harder, but I don't let anything hold me down. I want to stay as positive for my kid, my wife, you know, things like that, to be able to keep proceeding forward. I look at everything in life as, you know, tomorrow's never guaranteed. Yesterday's already been a past. You know, live in the moment, enjoy your life, and stay as healthy as possible for your family, your friends, and, you know, if you do have any kind of abnormal pains, don't be that tough guy. That was me. You know, go get checked. It's worth it.